Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm going to show you a deck profile, and it will be a Kagero deck profile. And unfortunately, I have no idea if this card is going to be printed in English or not because it's a promo. But of course, I hope it does so that everyone can get to enjoy this card. And the spotlight goes to our Dragonic Overlord, The Turnabout. So this is a monthly Bushido magazine promo, and it's drawn in the manga style. So you can see it's like from the manga with color. And this card is actually very fun to play with. Let's talk about his skill. Vanguard circle once per turn. After attack ends, counterblast 1 and discard 2 cards. Then you stand all your front row Overlord units. And during the turn, this unit get -1 drive. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or higher, all your front row Overlord will get 10k. So he is a good attacker, restander, buffer for Overlords, and especially if you're going second. If you're going first, of course you can still stand all your Overlord units, but you won't be able to get the 10k because your opponent's likely not going to be grade 3s. But still, this is one option that you can do. And talking about the greatest partner of the turnabout will be the OG Overlord. Why? Because the OG Overlord can simply just Soul Blast 1 and pump himself 10k, and with turnabout is like a total of 20k buff, so that's probably enough to win there, or at least get your opponents to drop all their hands to guard for all those attacks. That's why I'm still running 4 of the OG Overlords, and have to say, I will not ride him. My riding targets will only be the turnabout and the cross. Because the cross I can actually copy turnabout, and I also do run one of the end, so I have 2 options to copy depending on the situation. Say if I'm actually going first and I know my opponents will not superior ride for whatever reason, then I will just go for normal the cross, copy the end play, and try to win there. But if you're going second, then you can, and you have like 2 extra Overlord units that you can place on the field and restand with turnabout, then of course you can go for turnabout. So you do have options to choose what you want to do. Also, since this my gravy lineup, then let's talk about the choice of force. For me, I've been play testing for a week or so, and I feel force 1 is still the best. Even if you can restand and pump power, based on the matches that I play with friends, they always get a defensive trigger. So yeah, force 2 will not help me. And even when I'm actually playing the cross the end combination, force 2 is quite scary in a way that you can suddenly give your opponents a lot of damage as long as you hit. But if you ask me, honestly, I prefer force 1. Even though every time I restand, I'm probably just going to hit 4 and damage, but that pressure to me I think is higher. So when playing this deck, I will go for force 1. There's never a chance that I go for force 2. Even if I need to chase damage, I prefer to use force 1, spread the force markers, and restand with turnabout, and make every single attack hard to guard. Then I can still go for that much damage. Yeah. Like every single hit matters instead of one big hit and then I can't hit anything. So yeah, that's like the different way of playing the deck, different way of thinking on giving your opponents damage. Because if you give them too much early, they are going to hurt you with the skills. So yeah, just some little quick sharing on the force options. And after that, enter grade 2s. I'm running the Overlord Dragon, and of course the Turret Cannon Dragon. So this helps you search for the cross so that you can, without worrying to get them into your hand, you can simply just aim for the cross and copy whatever you want to. And for whatever reason that these units goes to your hand, then you can simply find a way to get them to drop and use your cannon to put them back to the bottom of the deck so that you won't draw them. Yeah, and then you can just simply use the cross and find them out again. Yeah, so just by using these grade 2s, you are good enough to find the pieces you want or recycle the pieces you want. And as long as you open hand get any grade 2s, you can still play the game. And in order to increase the chances of searching the right grade 3s, so that's why we get 4 Lava Flow Dragon, so that we increases our chances to get the cross that we want or the OG Overlord that we want as a rearguard. Our main targets will be these two. This is probably new if you are starting to play with Turnabout. So this is the Dragon Knight Nasser. So what he does is when he appears on a rearguard circle, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or higher by Soul Blasting one of the top 7 cards of the deck, search up to 1 grade 3 unit and call it to rearguard circle and shuffle your deck. So like, for sometimes you just can't find extra grade 3s to get your Turnabout to help withstanding those. Like, you keep drawing, you keep recycling, you use a Lava Flow, you use your Overlord, Integral Dragon, whatever, just can't find anything. Here's your another chance. So blasting, you look at top 7. If you see any grade 3s, which all of them are Overlords, you just place them on the field and withstand with Turnabout, because Turnabout can pump them extra 10k. So no matter which Overlord that you see, you can just simply get that up, and if they got retired, just use your cannon and recycle them again. Yeah, so another chance to help you build your field, and he won't retire himself anyway, so he can still be an 8k boost. And then 2 of the key build for soul charging purpose, nothing much else, because this deck do soul blast a lot, mainly from the cross and the OG Overlord. Because if you go to like max out your power, you need to soul blast 2 here, and you need to soul blast 1 to copy the effects of Turnabout. So that's already soul blast 3 every single turn. And normally what you have is your starter, grade 1 that you ride, grade 2 that you ride. That's already free. So yeah, you can see how heavy this deck can soul blast per turn. The overall soul blasting amount is not that much, but every turn that you need to soul blast, if you want to go all out, is quite heavy. So you do need something to have your soul charge. Also a Gaia's, another card that soul charge for you, and gives your unit a crit when this card puts a grade 3, which basically your attackers will be grade 3s anyway, and you use your OG Overlord to pump 10k, Turnabout give it another 10k, then you give it a crit. Maybe you get some triggers, then you put everything there and just strike one and win the game. That's another thing that you can do. So that's basically the normal units, and let's talk about the triggers. So what I run is 6 crits and then 6 draws and 4 heals. Because I'm using Force 1, so I do want a little bit more crit, but at the same time I want to draw my pieces, not only to be able to play enough units on the field, but also have enough cards to guard with. Because your lava flow won't get you extra card. You get your Grave Freeze, but you still need to discard something. Yeah, so you are always discarding in a way. Because even if you use the end combo, you still need to like discard 3 cards in order to restand and get 10k. That's another thing. And your turnabout, you need to discard 2 cards in order to use the effect. So instead of going like 8 crit 4 draw, I'm going for 6 crit 6 draw. So I still have enough crits, but at the same time I'm trying to get more draw so that I won't lose on my hands and simply just lose. Because that's something that usually happen if you go with the cross, the end combination. You will go like 12 crits, and some might even go like 16 crit, whatever. So they are a little bit hard to guard with, and if you can't draw your pieces, you basically just stay there. But in this build, you do have a lot of Grave Researchers, not only to your hand but also to your field, and you have different combination, different options that you can choose from, so that you do have different routes. Even if you can't get the cross, if you just got the turnabout, you can still normally ride your turnabout and just try to get yourself a win there. Because turnabout doesn't require you on different like hand size limitation like the end does. So the cross is just there so that you have options to choose what skills you want. But if you simply just go for turnabout and just use your counter loss and stand your units by discarding 2 cards, then you even don't need to worry about the soul from the cross. But again, by using the cross, you have options and you can actually thin your deck, because you get a Overlord from your deck into the soul in order to copy the effect. So you -1 card from your deck, and that will be easier for you to hit triggers, because you are taking Overlords into your soul. That's a normal unit. So yeah, that basically it. So let's talk about some ride sequence that you can do with this deck, or some combos that you can do, so that you have a more better understanding on how this deck works. So see you in a bit. Okay, so your starter is here, and usually the most ideal right options is to try to search Grave Freeze with your Alpha Flow. If not, any great ones in the deck will do, but the most ideal option is there. And then when you enter Great Tools, you will try to ride him so that you can have another chance to search for your Overlord, the cross, so that you basically secure your ride. If you ride this, you probably won't be able to use the skill, but that doesn't matter as well, because the game starts when you ride Great Freeze. And once you get to Great Freeze, your right options will be your cross or turnabout. Nothing else. Nothing else. So if you do have both in your hand, you can choose. If you're going first, of course, go for the cross and copy at the end, and just do your normal the end play, attack, reset, attack, reset, attack. But if you're going second, then now you actually can choose. If you want to save your soul, you can simply just write your turnabout. But if you want to fill your deck more and doesn't matter to use a soul, then you can still write across, get your turnabout from deck to your soul by soul blasting, and copy the effects. That still works. So let's put a turnabout here so that you know that we are actually using turnabout skill. Then the most ideal lineup will be like this. Yeah, and great ones you can simply just put whatever, like this or this, something like that. Really, the background doesn't matter. As long as you have these three, you're all set. Then what you have to do is to soul blast 2 so that both get 10k, and what you have to do is to swing, and then to swing. After battle ends, counter blast 1, restand or plus 10k, then attack with this first and swing with boost. That's basically what you do. If you do have a guys on the field, depend on how many damage you have. If you do have spare, try to select your timing, like after you restand and attack again, depending on how many like triggers effects that you got. If you do have a crit, put it here so that he can swing and use a skill, counter blast 1, gain another crit, so he can hit for 3 damage, which is quite high. And your opponent is going to guard it for like a lot of hands, because if they don't, they probably lose the game. Then with this, you can basically select what you want to target. If you want to damage deny your opponents, you can. If you still want to give them an extra damage, you can. Yeah. And then with force, usually the first one I will place it under the Vanguard, and next one I will start to spread to my regards, because your Vanguard doesn't require a lot of power, because he will stand, he will get 10k, and your opponents will need to guard, because you are going to do your train drive, so they will likely overguard, and or at least one trigger. Yeah, so if you hit a trigger to pass, that's good. If not, you will still give the power to your regards anyway. So what you need is the first force to be on your Vanguard. So the first attack is at least 23k. And after that, just pump your regard so that your opponents need to think, oh, I need to like 1 to 2 pass this, and then I need to give this line like a 25k guard, this one maybe a 30k guard. Then that's where they start to panic. They start to requires a lot of calculations, and that's how you keep rolling the guard values and try to win. And try to use these guys soul charge so that you can also try to keep them alive. And when the next turn comes, you just maybe write another turnabout, write another the cross so that you can copy the turnabout, and then soul blast 2 again, pump the power, swing, stand, and just swing. Yeah, so that's basically just how easy this deck runs. But do take care of the soul that you have, because once they run out, you probably won't be able to get anything else. Yeah, so after that, like a turn or two, you're probably going to have all your soul used. So your left and right will probably just be 30k. Then if you do force markers, then they can be 23 at least, and you have a 23 attack in restand again. So this is also another reason why you need to spread your force markers to all your front rows, hopefully one each. But the first one, always go to the Vanguard, so that it is easier to hit, and at the same time it's easier for making your opponents to overguard. Yeah, so I think that's all I need to say about this deck. Again, it's quite fun. But if you ask me if it's like very competitive, maybe, because while I test the deck, like the top is still like good, and the end isn't topping that much. But now with the new restrictions on Go Paladins with Percival and Kirkwood, probably we can see this deck stronger in the meta, in the format, because you won't easily get rushed, but we will still see. But overall, this deck, if you can get yourself some copies, of course, do try it out. I find it quite fun. Is not as boring as the cross the end, because your route is one way, but this, you at least on top of the cross the end, now you do have another attacks, and since you're going to do actually 6 attacks with 3 drives, in that way actually I feel happier when playing this deck. Yeah, so again, try it out, or let me know if you have any questions, and see what I can do to help you. Yeah, so stay tuned for more deck profiles. I do have a few coming up, and also quite a few fight videos relating to those decks, mainly from the clan selection proxies. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Signing off.